Alright, let's face it. So, you tell me, what do you think about AirPods? Are they worth it? Are they not worth it? Are they properly priced? Are they overly priced? आप बताओ. Go ahead. Because I personally think that AirPods are useful, at the same time, AirPods are straight up bullshit. Here's the thing: Apple launches two streamlines of AirPods, the AirPods Pros and the baseline AirPods. Yes, the best thing you could do while planning on purchasing an AirPods is go for the Pro version. This version is in mine. This Pros is in mine. These belong to my friend. I've inquired my friend about it. Great, he's been using these for the past 3 years. No issues whatsoever. They're good. I wanted to experience the Pros as well, so I've borrowed it from him for a while. And yes, not gonna lie, the experience is really good. They're great. But one thing I hate, I don't like the experience of is with these AirPods. This is where the baseline AirPods comes in. The so-called affordable AirPods. Here's the truth: they're not affordable. We know about Apple and yeah, 16e, 16, 15 affordable. Let's just cut it out, Apple. Let's just cut it out. But let me tell you a small story. Yeah, you see, my dad is an Apple user for more than a decade now. And you know how Apple are, you know how iPhones work. They don't go with every AirPods, every earpods. So what you gotta do is purchase a pair of Apple AirPods. So my dad purchased these. These are the Apple AirPods first generation. And just after 9 months of purchase, the right AirPod just left. It just wouldn't, it just left the chat randomly. It just wouldn't charge. It wouldn't sit tight in its pocket. It wouldn't. It randomly the sound would go, low, so low that you won't be able to hear anything. It will be working. It will be playing, but it's just so low. And then randomly one day the battery backup just gave up. I used to plug it in. I used to listen to music. Just after 20 seconds whatsoever, I used to get this sound, and the AirPod would randomly die. I would put it in the case again. It would show in my phone that the AirPods are fully charged. I will take it again, plug it in, and once again, dead. I took it to the Apple Center. I've asked them to replace the AirPod or to service it, and I've asked them how much it would charge, and they've told me that it would charge 8K to get this serviced. One single AirPod. They Apple would charge me 8K to service one single AirPod. So what did I do? I purchased another pair. Ah, another pair of AirPods. Same story. 7 months. Right AirPod left the chat, wouldn't charge, dead. And this one is special because the case just froze. It wouldn't charge. It wouldn't respond. It's just gone. And then recently, last year, I purchased this, and this is where things get crazy. This is where things get crazy because hear me out. முன்னாடி வாங்கின first gen, second gen, both of them, were useful for at least 7 to 9 months of lifespan. But this one, it took just 3 months for this one to randomly die, for the right AirPod to die in this. I mean, I wouldn't probably, I wouldn't say it's dead, but what I would say is the right AirPod would just doesn't want to sit in its pocket. It wouldn't charge. It just wouldn't charge. The battery backup is good. The AirPod just doesn't want to charge. It's not like the magnets are gone. It's not like it's used. It's been only 3 months and it's gone. Well, I'm talking about when I purchased it or when it become 3 months after the purchase. Right now, it's been more than 8 months, and I've been facing the same issue. The right AirPod won't charge. If I take it out, listen to music, and try to set it up in its pocket, and charge, it takes me about 30 to 45 minutes to make it sit right in its pocket. அது உட்காரும். The magnets will pull it, the magnets will hold it, but the AirPod just won't charge. It takes me 45 minutes to make sure the AirPod is charging, and I'll keep it safely, very safely. And once again, when I take my AirPods, open it, plug it in my ears to listen to music, the right AirPod is not recognized, the left one is recognizing, the left one is playing the music. Right AirPod, zero. Once again, 45 minutes, taking it, உள்ள போட்டு எடுத்து போட்டு எடுத்து போட்டு எடுத்து போட்டு எடுத்து போட்டு எடுத்து அதுக்கப்புறம் அது செட் ஆனதுக்கப்புறம் மறுபடியும் அதை எடுத்துட்டு காதில் போட்டதுக்கப்புறம் I listen to music, and then once again, once I'm done, another 45 minutes to set it in, make sure it's charging. Sorry, fine. Let's say that I'm the unluckiest guy in the world and all my AirPods are malfunctioning, but no, that's not the truth. I know a few people who own the AirPods 4th gen with ANC, and they've complained saying that within 4 to 6 months the ANC just randomly, the capacity of the ANC just goes down, doesn't work as it used to, doesn't work as it should, so it's gone. And when they took it to the service center, they're like, sir, இது நாங்கள் வந்துட்டு சர்வீஸ் பண்ண மாட்டோம், this won't be covered under warranty. If you want to get it serviced, once again 7,500 for this to get serviced. Bro, tell me one thing, these work perfectly fine, these don't, and Apple knows about this. Then why is Apple selling these? What's the motive behind Apple selling these baseline? Enna? Here it is. You see, Apple makes out its most of its revenue from by selling iPhones, and when a person purchases iPhones, obviously he'll have less funds, and one thing that goes with an iPhone is not an Apple Watch but AirPods. So you need a pair of AirPods. What people do is, most of the people can't purchase the Pros, so they go with the baseline, the 3rd gen, 4th gen, 1st gen, 2nd gen. They go with those because even though they're not good, they're Apple AirPods, so they go with them for the name, for the fame, for all the things that Apple gives. Even though they can't afford it, they take these. They don't go for the Pros because they're expensive compared to these, so they go with these, and eventually they just die randomly. It's either left, it's either right, it just depends on the unit you have. So the only reason Apple sells these is to make sure that the next time the customer is purchasing an AirPods, he'd go for the more expensive version and not for the cheaper version. So Apple is basically making these to make sure that people don't purchase those and purchase these. At the end of the day, Apple is making a huge profit by selling both the AirPods, because people end up buying the baseline, people end up buying the Pro line as well. But this is the reality. The baseline AirPods are just bullshit. And no other tech influencer, tech reviewer tells you about this. People are like, they're bragging about the pros that Apple has, but they're never gonna tell you about the cons that are left behind. I am. Here's the truth. Because I've wasted a lot of money. I've spent a lot of money. And I don't want the same thing to happen with you guys. Because money is not earned easily. I know how difficult it is to earn money. I know how hard your parents have to work. I know how hard you have to work to earn that amount. So the next time you're purchasing AirPods, don't consider the baseline. Go for the Pro series. And one more thing I wanted to say was, if you're purchasing AirPods, don't purchase them or import them from another country, because when you do, you won't be able to claim warranty in India. Even though they say they have, they provide international warranty, they're not going to service your device in India. It's not only AirPods, it's not only earphones, it's every tech gadget. Let it be a watch, let it be a smartwatch, iPhone, phone, anything, Apple, Samsung, whatever it may be. When you're importing it from a different country, they just won't, service it in India. So if you're facing a problem, you want it serviced, you want your product to be up and running as new, there's only one way: go to the country you bought it from, get it serviced there, claim your warranty there, because here you just wouldn't do it. So at the end of the day, here's the conclusion. I'm not saying, Apple is a scam, Apple AirPods are a scam. I'm just saying that if you're planning on purchasing the AirPods, go for the AirPods Pro series. Yes, they're expensive. Yes, they eat up your wallet. But rather than spending 15K every single year, you can spend 20K and have your AirPods, experience your AirPods for a longer period of time. I've never faced any problems, any issues with the AirPods Pros. My friends never faced the issue with the Pros, but yes, my friends and I, we have faced a lot of issues with the baseline. So avoid the base series as much as possible, the generations as much as possible. Go for the Pro series, and the best thing you could do is don't import them. Purchase it in India. I mean, unless you want to claim the warranty. If you don't want to, someone from UAE, someone from USA, yeah, import them. This is Shreyas. Thank you for watching this video, and if you think it's helpful, drop a like, leave a comment. If you think it's hurtful, leave a comment. That's fine. But if you want more videos like these, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, bye bye.